Come with me back to the 1960s, where I'll tell you a tale of a girl who hated gardening, but garden she did, because doing that for her neighbours meant that they would give her enough pennies so she could buy her first ever full-length LP from her favourite band, the Beatles. Hey, I'm Joe, or JSB, and yes, that girl was my mum, and yes, she did see the Beatles in early 1964. This is the programme from their Auckland concerts. First NZ tour, it says there. Last NZ tour, as it turned out. I might, on another day, go through this whole programme with you. But I bring it out because, of course, in it, it is mentioned that the Beatles make a film. We all know what that film was. It was A Hard Day's Night. So, having seen them and having bought that programme, or been given it, I'm not sure. No wonder she thought, I've got a stack of Beatles 45s already, but I really want an album. Which album do I want? Hard Day's Night. And so, Toil Away in the Garden she did, and that album she did buy, and therefore, it's an album I've known my entire life. Thanks, Mum. Obviously, I never saw the Beatles, but in 1993, me and my mum did go and see Paul McCartney at Western Springs in Auckland, and then the following year, it was the 30th anniversary of A Hard Day's Night, and we went to the Civic Theatre and saw that on the big screen. And somehow it's become 30 years since we did that. It is now the 60th anniversary of the film and its accompanying soundtrack album. Where does the time go? To celebrate the 60th anniversary, I'll be doing a random foreplay. Basically, this just means I stick the album on shuffle and listen to the first 4 tracks that come up, whatever they may be. Of course, with this album, anything we get is going to be good. Of course, the only trouble with that is we're on YouTube, and that is going to get blocked. So, if you click the Vimeo link that's in the description, or hopefully in a pinned comment, if I've remembered to do that, you can come over to Vimeo and listen to the full thing with me there. Not the full thing, the full songs that I'm listening to. You know what I mean. Otherwise, I'll be back in a moment to talk about what we, or I, heard. Welcome back to YouTube-only viewers. For those who didn't pop over to Vimeo, you nutters. What you missed was some pretty good songs, actually. We started off with Can't Buy Me Love, probably one of the most famous early Beatles songs of them all. As I said, that's the closer of side 1. We immediately followed with the opener of side 2, which is Anytime Doll. And then we had If I Fell, and finally, I'll Be Back. But without Arnold Schwarzenegger duetting with John Lennon on this particular version. Cracking stuff. As I said, you can't really go wrong with anything on this album, and I'm sure most of you know that it is the first Beatles album that had all originals on it, all Lennon McCartney tunes, no George Harrison's, no George Harrison tracks on this particular album, or Ringo tracks, obviously. Ringo doesn't even get a song to sing on this one. Maybe that's what's the best. Controversial, but yeah, it might be because this is the album I've known all my life. That's a fairly long time, probably not as long as your life, but you know, getting there. Has that affected how I see this album or not? I say it might have done. What I'm basically saying is this is my favourite early Beatles album by quite a way. The lack of covers really does help for a start, to be honest, but it's just a cracking album, start to finish. I would go as far as to say it's the best pop album of all time. Some days it's probably my favourite Beatles album. I mean, yeah, the later albums are better, but are they quite as joyous as this one? Not sure. Not sure. Anyway, whether you came all the way to Vimeo for the whole thing, or you just stayed on YouTube like a lazy lout, fools, I say. Thanks for joining me, and there's plenty more to see on the channel, and I will have more Beatles stuff coming up one way or another. As I say, if you would like me to go through this entire program at some point, drop a note down below. And also, while you're dropping that, drop a like and click on the old subscribe button. Good work. Meanwhile, there's stuff floating around my head. If you head that way, you can see me listening to a couple of songs George Martin produced and played on a full 10 years after this. And on the other way, something else random that you might like. So see you on one or other of those. Thanks for watching today. Bye for now.
Acting is reacting. This does not mean acting again.